We say murder! 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 We say murder! 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 We say murder! Justice! Murder! Justice! Murder! We say justice! We say murder! Justice! Murder! Justice! Murder! They say justice! We say murder! Justice! Murder!
I'm here today to stand in solidarity for the young man that was murdered in Yuenduma. It could have been my grandson, it could have been my son, it could have been my family member. He is of our mob, he is of our people. The injustices need to stop. Another death in custody. It's got to stop. We're 3% of the population, and still this is happening, and it's just so. I'll still stand in solidarity. I'll still rally. I'll still march for this to stop until I'm 160. But it needs to stop. We need to all gather around and make this government accountable. Make the biggest illegal group, the police, accountable for what's happening to our people whilst in custody. But yes, I'm just overwhelmed because of the way he was taken, that they can just walk into a community like that, they can just walk into people's lands without, anything, have no respect for his relations who are police members up there at Yuenduma. So where's the justice? Where's the justice?
For way too long, the cops murdering our people in this country has been since the day of invasion. Since the recommendations of the black deaths in the custody, we've had over 400 deaths in this country at the hands of police officers. If this is the justice in which they serve our people, well, we don't want it. It's time for a change. It's time to stop the systemic racism that is killing our people. We need independent reviews that are made up of our people. We're sick of police in this country investigating themselves. We need justice. We need a system that is equal and fair for our people. We need to stop the systemic racism and the incarcerations of our people within the society of Australia. We are here today together to stand in solidarity with the people right across this country. Like I said, this ain't new for me. This is still one of many marches that I've come to and rallies right across the countryside and standing in solidarity. As we know, we've had many deaths in the past couple of years, and I've had the opportunity to stand alongside and learn from the many warriors before me. Arthur Murray, the father of Eddie Murray, still no justice for them. Still no justice for John Pat, no justice for Robert Lawler. Let's not only talk about the deaths in custody, but also the wrongful incarcerations. Our people are 3% of the population, yet we hold 120% of the incarceration rate throughout the country. It's time for a change. It's time for government to understand that they must step back and allow our people to be able to deal with this, with our laws and customs. You're killing our people. This needs to stop. Australia needs to wake up. The world needs to understand that the genocide, what is continuing in this country, is still continuing under the hands of the oppressors, such as the police force in every state of this country.
This country's denied us our human rights, our humanity, and our very existence. Terra nullius is a legal fiction. It's not a sound law, folks. You want to do a constitution for the people, by the people. Anyway, we're still here. We still have faith. We've got to take it out of the hands of the crims, folks. It's not a convict penal colony no more. All right? Vision your own freedom. Let's see it together. And we can justify it anywhere. There's no jurisdiction. When you go to their courts, ask the question.
This injustice has got to stop. It's got to stop. Australia, we know Australia's a crime scene, but they're still continuing it. It's got to stop. And at some time or other, Because we've had enough of it. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
We've got two welcomes today. The first one is from Jaeden Williams, who's from the Boonuwrrung. Everyone give him a big round of applause.
So my name's Jaeden Williams. I'm a Yalukit Willam man of the Boonuwrrrung language group, and I'm the custodian of this land, and I'm a descendant of Melbourne's first people, the Boonuwrrrung. So my family have been here for 4,000 generations, for 100,000 years. They've walked on this land, told stories, sung songs, and loved their families and been a community. It's beautiful we see a beautiful community today. So this land has a story that goes a lot longer than 180 years. A lot longer than the first settlers have been here. So my culture is a big part of Melbourne's history, a big part of this land's history. So Boonuwrrrung culture, Melbourne's history. My culture, your history. Can everyone say that? Your culture? Your culture? My history. Yes, good, good, good. Yes, but now you live here. Now you are a part of this story. You're a part of this story. You're a part of this land's history. Now you tell stories. Now you sing songs. Now we protest. Now we are a community. Now we're a part of this massive story. So in the words afforded to me by my ancestors, Kumanjayi Walker, Boonuwrrrung, Boonuwrrrung, Nerndur, Barabdan, Ada Willam. Welcome.
But firstly, I wanted all of you guys now to put your hand on your heart. Mine's racing right now. But I want you to do a heartbeat with your hand. Vibration is from our ancestors. There are ancestors vibrating through our bodies. So I'm going to do a morning chant for all of those blackfellas that have died at the hands of those things with the blue and white. We've lost too many young ones. We've lost too many, full stop. Now, the meaning of this chant is farewell, dear spirit. You watch us from Taungurung, you watch us from heaven. Our spirits will reunite tomorrow when our souls reunite. I'll see you tomorrow when our souls reunite. So please put your hand on your heart again and keep that beat going. Twagadin, Yadabaling, Moree. Bodgin, thank you. And I think our ancestors heard that vibration.
Thank you, Boonuwrrung and Wurundjeri peoples. So as you know, we're gathering and rallying today at the request of Yuenduma community and elders of the Warlpiri people. And I'm going to invite some Warlpiri community members up to the stage right now. So please give them one big round of applause.
My name is Jasmine Taungurung and I stand here with my sister Rachel Taungurung and my brother Justin Taungurung and Em Maloney. We stand here today on behalf of our Warlpiri family and communities who are grieving the killing of Kumanjayi Walker. As we stand here on Kulin land, we'd like to share Warlpiri people's immense gratitude to the traditional owners for their solidarity, and we pay our respects to your elders past and present. We also pass on their thanks to the wider community for your support. Our grandmother is from Lajamanu, around 500 kilometres north of Yuenduma. I acknowledge my mothers Kathleen Nakamara and Margaret Nakamara, who stand here in the crowd today. Our Lajamanu family want the nation to know that they stand in solidarity with Kumanjayi and Yuenduma. They want justice. We've been asked to read these statements from the Yuenduma community so their voices can be heard. As we reside on Kulin lands, we ask that you stand in solidarity with our people.
Hello, I'm Taungurung. Yeah, it's a pretty sad time right now. The statement is from Harry Jackamar. We are hurting and in shock from one of our young men being murdered by the police. He was minding his own business when they came in and shot him dead. They are saying he had a weapon. There was no weapon at all. It was a funeral day too. Everybody else in the community was at the cemetery. The coppers seen no one around, and that's when they moved in to his grandmother's house. Absolute mongrels. Hundreds of us waited at the police station that night where they were keeping that young man in the cell. I don't know what they were doing with him. The community leaders and even Aboriginal police officers were not allowed in. We were given no respect at all. They expected our young people to riot that night, but they kept their cool and followed all our leaders. I am very happy with what the young people have done, getting the truth out on social media. Now there are police everywhere in our community. We want them gone. They have been passing messages to all the white staff working here. You better leave. You are unsafe. What rubbish. They are spreading propaganda. We'll be driving into Alice Springs tomorrow and taking to the streets on Thursday. I encourage people all around the country to take to the streets as well. We are happy to hear there are lots of rallies planned on Wednesday. We have lots of people coming into town. People are coming from Tennant Creek. There are Pitland Mob. People coming from everywhere. To all the people coming along to protest, I want to say thank you from my people. This is unreal. The intervention has a lot to do with this. It has set us right back. The last time Warlpiri people were shot like this 90 years ago with Coniston massacre, we were hurting. There's no fairness, honesty or respect. I wanna say that the police need to get out of that community because they're not honouring our sorry business. Sorry business and our protocol, police aren't allowed into the community when there's sorry business going on. They shouldn't have gone in there and taken that man or taken that young boy or even hurt him during sorry business time. That's against our protocol and against our culture, and they're going against our culture again by interrupting our another sorry business that they caused. They are walking around with rifles and they're intimidating the Yuenduma people right now while they're going through sorry business. And that's not on. This has got to change. I'm sick of people oppressing us, keeping us down. We're just trying to do our culture. The minister or what is that? What is it? Michael Gunai. What a bloke. This bloke, this new commissioner or whatever, I don't understand when he says that he's worked with Aboriginal people in the community and saying that he was there breaking up all the riots. This is different now. This isn't breaking up community tribal stuff. This has them involved. They're the ones that did this. They're the ones that are causing the intimidation and causing us to be scared when we're supposed to be hurting. Don't come into our country and say that we're not teaching New Mob when New Mob aren't listening to us.
In community, my name is Nungarai. I'm going to read out a statement from Marley Wells Napatnari. She's a Warlpiri woman. When I first heard what had happened, I immediately felt outraged and betrayed, but most of all, I felt sad. We came on Sunday morning to stand together in our grief and were presented with smirking police officers and no answers. Two mounted police attempted to bring their horses closer, an intimidation tactic. Someone requested them to leave, and I heard one of the officers say, "If you had any respect for the horse's life, you would stop waving that cardboard in its face. He doesn't like it. You're intimidating him." How dare someone who works for an organisation that attacks and creates and causes harm and kills people try to tell a peaceful protester they are intimidating? If you had any respect for human beings, if you had any respect for the traditional owners of this land, if you had any respect at all, you would be questioning the systems in place, the systems you benefit from, the systems that keep Aboriginal people down. I work in a school. We encourage all of our children to be strong and to be smart and to be proud of who they are and where they come from. But are we just raising them to be disappointed and betrayed? I don't want to live in a world where we have to ask if our nieces and nephews will be next, our brothers and sisters. What has happened in Yuenduma is an outrage, an injustice, and an event that we must not allow to be swept under the rug. I don't know how to trust the systems that have been set up for us to fail. We are hurt, we are angry, we are suffering. We stay strong and we stay together, but we should never again have to be connected by grief like this. Thank you for being here. I hope we never have to meet under these circumstances again.
I have to say I'm a little overwhelmed and broken I'm Emily Naparula Maloney. I'm Malcolm Jagamara's daughter, a lawman who taught me my songline, my jukuba. My family are grieving and broken, and I stand here on their behalf today. We're from Willara, but our mob are also in Yuenduma, Lajamano, Papanya. My Auntie Janet wanted you to know that we paint our skin in grief. We scream, we cry, we wail, and this grief, it's sitting heavy. You have to be outraged. You have to stand and walk alongside us and not take this. This is not Australia. We're First Nation people. We've been here over 60,000 years. This is shameful. I want to thank Kulin Nations for having us and living on this land, and I'm blessed every day to walk on this country. We're Warlpiri, we're Yapa. We're going to stand with our head high, and the truth is going to come out. Thank you.
I've been asked to read a statement on behalf of the community today. Yuenduma right now is really sad and devastated. We have lost a beautiful young fella, and the family here is not happy. They are really sad. We are sorry in Yuenduma, and we are really angry with the police. This Garia white fella has lots of questions to answer. This policeman were giving us no information. That policeman who shot him, they took him to the police station and they evacuated all the health workers. Policeman is not qualified to look after him. Why 3 shots? We want answers. We want justice. This is a statement from Ned Japanjimpa Hargraves, Senior Warlpiri man.
I've been invited up to read a statement from a statement from Valerie Napuljaram, Senior Warlpiri woman. What they've done is really bad. We need help and support. They're trying to cover up now. We need a proper investigation. Outside people should be involved, not the police. We need truth and justice. We aren't running around with weapons. We want justice for what they've done, being shot in cold blood in front of the mother and wife. Our Black Lives Matter. It's gone beyond too far. This is really happening to our people. They could have waited for us to finish the funeral. That was his uncle being buried. Imagine already being in custody, dead on the scene in front of family. We are suffering, the whole community. We're going to take our kids away. They're going to take our kids away now. We are very concerned for our young people now. They should leave. The police are putting lies against us. We want the truth out to the nation.
We've just got one more statement to read out from community before we invite other speakers. This is a statement from Sunita Granitz. She was Kumanjayi's auntie. I came back from funeral service and I came back and I just relaxed. I seen my nephew, he looked happy. I was just looking at him. 30 minutes later, I heard gunshots. I'm his neighbour and I heard the gunshots went off. I went outside and I saw them drag him and chucked him in a paddy wagon. He wasn't even moving when he was dragged out from the house. He wasn't even carried. One of the neighbours said to me he cried once, he cried twice, and then they listened for one more sound and nothing. They didn't let us in the police station. The lights were all off. When the police came to that meeting on Sunday, I walked out. We wanted more answers. I wake up in the night, I can't sleep. Everyone here in Yuenduma can't sleep because what have the police done to us? That's from Sunita Granites.
We're just about to march now, but before we do that, I'm going to read out a list of call of community action, a list of community calls for a call to action. They want a swift, full independent investigation into the killing of Kumanjayi Walker for police accountability. Police must not investigate police. To see footage from Yuenduma police station and body cam footage from Saturday. No police in Yuenduma community from now. 24-hour full-time medical staff in Yuenduma community as well. Self-determination and culturally safe access to medical services, including YAPA, Aboriginal oversight and staffing of the medical clinics, and use of bush medicine, cultural practices and law. They also want alternative approaches to racist policing. Funding for the funeral and sorry business. And they want to immediately hold an inquest into the death of Kumanjayi Walker in Yuenduma. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Not enough justice. Too many justice. Not enough justice. Too many. Not enough justice.
Hey, there you are, princess. Today, it's been a day of mourning for what has happened up there in the upper north, Yuenduma community there. A young man was killed indiscriminately, shot in the back by these racist police in this racist country, and there should be a inquiry into the death, not the police looking into it. An independent. We want an independent inquiry. We don't want the cops doing it because they are full of lies. This country is built on genocide and they're still committing it today. And when is it ever going to stop?
Too many mob to a system that doesn't care about us, that wants us dead and locked away, and it's not on anymore. That's not enough justice.
Justice! They say justice, we say murder! Justice! Justice!
We're just going to wait here till the rest of the mob catch up, and we're going to tell this mob what we want. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Justice for Walker. When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
To talk on behalf of our children who are dying in custody, and especially for the Walker family.
And are you from Melbourne?
No, I'm actually from Port Augusta, South Australia.
And what's your view on what happened in the Northern Territory last week?
It's disgusting. You know, they can put a South Australian community constable before everybody, and all the nation fights over that, and an outrage over killing an animal. But when it's one of our own people, there's nothing, there's silence. The media are silent. Where are they speaking up? Where are they telling the story of what happens to our people?
They say justice, we say. They say justice, we say. They say justice, we say. Justice. Justice. They say justice, we say. They say justice, we say. Justice. Justice. They say justice, we say. They say justice, we say. Justice. Justice. What do we want? Justice for Walker. What do we want? How are we going to get it? How are we going to get it? How are we going to get it?
Stop behind the banners! Behind the banners, everyone! Alright. And the marshals at the front. Alright. Always was, always will be!
Aboriginal land!
Always was, always will be!
Aboriginal land!
Always was, always will be!
Aboriginal land!
We've seen time and time again deaths in custody and police brutality and just straight up murder. You know, I've lost count how many times I've stood here speaking about this and speaking about Mum. And it never gets any easier, but I can tell you that I'm getting fed up with it because I don't understand how many times we need to beg and plead to stop killing us. Yeah, I don't understand why. Shame. I don't understand why they sit there and they complain that we will block off the streets, that there's too many activists, there's too many protests, but they're the ones that are doing the shit that is bringing us here. They are the ones that are killing our people. And with all the deaths, there's all different circumstances, but the outcome is always the same, in that at the hands of the police, our people are dying. My mother was asleep on a train travelling from Echuca to Melbourne to see my pregnant sister when a V-line conductor approached her, woke her up and asked her for a ticket. Mum woke up, couldn't find her ticket, and for that reason she was deemed unruly and the police were called. So once they got there, instead of thinking that Mum was in need of medical help because she was so intoxicated, the next best step that they thought was to take her to a police cell where she did not get monitored effectively the whole time she was in there. Shame. Can you tell me how many people went to Melbourne Cup, got blind drunk? Can you tell me how many white fellas died in a cell? Not fucking one. Can you tell me how many of those white women were attended to by an ambulance? Because I was told that they had the ambulance there and they were sitting there, they were getting monitored effectively, they were taken to the doctors. So Mum's life did not mean shit to them. That's why they left her in that cell. That's why they didn't look after her. Shame. When Mum left, she left unconscious, and that was the last time that she was alive, when she was awake. We're going through the coronial process. As you can imagine, all it is the blame game. Stories not matching the footage. And really, it's just the same old shit. We've waited 2 years to have them give us absolutely nothing. You know, this murder, this needs to be resolved ASAP. The community cannot wait 2 years like we did. Murderers. And we've called on the Victorian government to abolish the law of public drunkenness, which they've committed to, but committing to means nothing unless they implement it, just like they haven't implemented hundreds of the recommendations from the Royal Commission. Yeah, means nothing. Exactly. We've said that time and time again, it needs to be an independent investigation. You cannot have police investigating police. It means nothing. They will always protect one another, and they wonder why we say there is no good police, because you tell me right now, these coppers standing behind me, if they were to kill one of us, that they're going to stand up against their fellow colleague, I can guarantee you they will not. At the moment, I got my daughter at home. She can't even sit in the car with me if I get pulled over to get breathalyzed because she's crying, because she doesn't know what's going to happen to me, because she knows what happened to her nan in that police cell. Yep. This right here is what we need to bring awareness to the cause. This is right here is the only justice that we'll get, because the governments and the police don't care, they don't listen unless we make them. So thank you to everybody that's been supporting the family. Thank you to everybody that's come here to support Kumanjayi's family, because it means everything. And thank you to the family for allowing me to speak.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Justice for Walker!
Cause we're on indigenous lands, of original clans. Since the beginning of man, countless years out on these lands. Living so grand, a lot to command. Intrinsic alarm, never disband. 60,000 plus, following law before this sleight of hand. Through the seasons and sacred plans, intuitive songs for many lost fans. From the desert down to the clay pan, chopping cement on top, optional chances. Take the vibe reaches, no equivalent. Swept with the top, quickly advance. Warriors pose so points in a stance. Outdoors with some truth, never by chance. Sorcerers and elixirs and trance in a dance. Standing in love across every expanse. Message sublime, it's in the hands. Beneficial beauty from all that it spans. Infusing the magic, majestic and grand. Willam, that cool land. Nungo body, call it the band. Kuku, Yalanji, bang it in. No, you pine made enough with a game. Yorta Yorta, Boonuwrrrung. Where is it we standing, man? Whose land you standing on? Know the history, know the facts. It's indigenous land that you are on. Indigenous land is where you stand. Indigenous land is where you be. Indigenous land, it always was. Indigenous land always will be. Indigenous land is where you stand.
Indigenous land is where you be. Indigenous land, it always was. Indigenous land, always will be. Lest we forget the frontier wars and the genocide blueprint that does live on. That's the custody it does seize not, but prolific that never voiced by bigger. Still the gallivant in the robust. Children again and again stole on in a blink of an eye. They are with us and then they are gone. We still amidst all these storms, 230 years on. Pillage and scorn, culture ignored. Fictions insidious adorned. All of our sacredness shaken and torn. All the while on indigenous lands, we are living our tell as upon. Is your mind realize it's wrong? As opposed to subliminal thought. Home ancestors in the rise on this step steps do not belong. A perpetual cycle of wrongs is been glorious, we will time bomb. But yet all of our kingdoms still here, still live on. We still countless original, limitless indigenous nations. It's no broken chain of law, ancestors in law. Yeah, they giving us law, endlessly they giving us more. From the dead to the shore, they delivering law. Yeah, they singing that law for forevermore. Indigenous land is where you stand. Indigenous land is where you be. Indigenous land, it always was. Indigenous land, always will be. Indigenous land is where you stand. Indigenous land is where you be. Indigenous land, it always was. Indigenous land, always will be. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police. No justice, no peace, no racist police.
The language that I'm speaking in, that's my grandmother's language, Bachelor. Now come here to stand with the brothers and sisters in the community, Yuenduma and down here. 12 years ago this year, my nephew, handcuffed, found in the alleyway, outside the window of the second story of the alleyway next to the Valley Police Department in Brisbane, 12 years ago. Shame! You think anything happened to those police officers? Nothing. How many deaths have happened over the last 20 years? How many times we've got to come out and march? And look, they just sit here looking at us like we're dickheads, like we're idiots, like we're simple. We're not simple. We know what's wrong with this system, with this country. They're racist. They're racist and murderers. And they think that little badge and that blue uniform gives them the right to come and just kill our mob, walk into a house and shoot a brother in the back. Shame! No justice! No racist police! No justice! No peace! No racist police! The pain that these families are feeling, that all of our families are feeling, every Aboriginal person that's in this audience, 6 degrees of separation. We lost someone somewhere. Whether it was in the frontier wars, right up to today, to now, 12 years ago. Every year this is happening. It's not new. It's not, oh, this is just happening now. It's 2019. 2019. And brothers are getting shot in the back by these idiots. Shame! No justice, no peace, no racist police! No justice, no peace, no racist police! No justice, no peace, no racist police!
You see, there's a lot of focus on what the police are doing here in our country, but who's behind them? Who's paying them?
Fucking government!
That's where the racism's really coming from, folks. These fellas are just the forces of the capitalists, the colonisers. They're the ones who are just protecting the stolen wealth. They're not smart enough to make the policies. They just get told what to do. And people should have a look at the history of the police in this country. Now, when it first began, they chose the most behaved convicts to become the police force. That's how it began, folks. Now, they've been on the front line of the war with our people since day one. They're the ones that have been killing us. It's like a paramilitary forces here. And we know how brutal they are. You've got to be careful around these people. They're not the keepers of the peace. They're quite the opposite, folks. And they're the ones that are causing all the trouble in our communities. It's when they turn up. But remember, they're on orders by the people behind us here, behind them. The Parliament. You know, you talk about democracy. How do we talk about democracy in a blood-stained, illegally occupied land? What sort of democracy is that? And we can do better. We can do better than that. This is our land. We hold the divine law here, the original people. Not George Pell or the Queen. This is the only Commonwealth country that hasn't got a treaty with the original people. Now, this is not just some small country. It's a huge continent without a treaty. It means there's no peace since these people arrived here. I want to pay my respect to the mob up there in Yuenduma. Now, I was really inspired back in the day when I read a story about the Yuenduma doors. I don't know if anybody's heard about the Yuenduma doors. It's an incredible story about the community up there. When the kids went to school, they had to go past all the painted doors of their dreaming. So they wouldn't forget, when they went and got a white man's education, wouldn't forget about who they was and where they were coming from. There's a very strong community up there. In an isolated, a lot of our communities are really isolated and subject to these forces. And we've all got stories about the police in our communities. They've been brutalising us for the time they've been here. But all I want to say, they're not the only part of the problem. They're just part of that problem. The real problem is the people behind them, creating the policies. You know, maybe if it was a brand new day, maybe they could work for us. Give them decent conditions. They wouldn't even have to carry a gun around with them. They're the only ones that got guns, not our people.
Blood on your hands! Blood on your hands! Blood on your hands!
To a young boy's house and assassinate him right there with no cause at all. He wasn't resisting or nothing.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
My family are strong and they're culturally proud. And we won't stand for this. Draw the line here. All the police officers out of Yuenduma because they're scaring the people there and they're trying to grieve. They need to bring that commissioner down to meet with the elder, not in Yuenduma, but outside. Cultural way. And then the elder can tell them when they can come in. That's our way. This is where we draw the line. We can't stand for this anymore. You can't treat us people like this anymore. And you mob standing here today to support my family, our family here, this is an honor. But we, right now, can I get everyone to pull out their phones? I want you to record this. Because this, when we don't have no weapons, this is our weapons. Everybody use your phones, record this bullshit. Because this is what them Yuenduma people want. They want coverage. And you mob can help. Let people know. Bring awareness to what's happened. We draw the line at killing our people and assassinating us in our homes. We don't feel safe. I'm walking around here looking at police fucking shaking. This is bullshit. We don't want to be scared. But you mob are making us scared. And right now you're making the Yuenduma people scared by bringing your guns and intimidating them when they're grieving over a young boy. You need to get out of Yuenduma right now and give them more time and space to grieve over their family member. Now, thank you, mob, for coming out. My grandmother was born in Yuenduma. She went to school from there. And I'm proud to say that I am a cultural person and nobody will take that away. And you mob standing here. Thank you.
Don't forget to use the hashtags when you're posting. They are Justice for Walker. I stand with Yuenduma. Justice for Walker. I stand with Yuenduma. Thank you very much for coming. And that is all. Justice for Walker! Justice for Walker!
Justice for Walker! Now! Justice for Walker! Now! Justice for Walker! Now! Justice for Walker! Now!
Okay, so Mariki, the rally is over now. How do you think it went today?
I think it went well. You know, we really did this. This was a call by the Warlpiri people, and we just supported the snap action. And obviously, with an action like this, you can't. You've got to do it with mob leading it, and their calls were central. Obviously, this went to the heart of what we feel and see every day. And I think a lot of Aboriginal people, when we hear this now, we know the truth. And it's emotional reaction, but it's also we don't want to come and do this again. This has to stop. That was an execution, what happened to Kumanjayi Walker, and it's absolutely devastating. Anyone that can think about a 19-year-old kid that is taken immediately out of their life, and yes, he's a kid. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to be condescending, but to me, when I think about my 19-year-old family members, I really feel for them. But today the rally went really well. We're far more organised than we've ever been. And it runs really smoothly, and we have a lot of solidarity, but a good strong core mob, group of blackfellas that we all really trust, and everyone's really works on their role. And I think it's really lucky that for some reason I don't think Vic Pol got wind of the action, and they were caught a bit off guard. They didn't seem to have the police or the riot police out, so I think that was a real positive for us, because we didn't want to be met by riot police and horses. They're really offensive and aggressive, and what do you know? They said it. They even fed it back through our police liaison that the rally went well, so we don't even need them. So next time you're uninvited, don't come, riot police. And we're really lucky no one got pepper sprayed, no incidents like that. As far as I understand, I think everything went well, despite their despite their aggressive presence. I mean, I wish they weren't here.
And I believe there are rallies around Australia at the same time.
Oh yeah. So this was one of many rallies that happened in capital cities all around the country. So I think the first one is in Brizzy and in Alice Springs. But yeah, every capital city stood up and came out and marched, and that's because we don't want this to happen again. And I just want to make that really clear. This is not about building so we can have more of this exposure and more of these marches. We don't want to come back here. Just as much as the city doesn't want to be disrupted, just as much as any other stakeholder doesn't want us here, we don't want to be here either. But we're not going to let you kill young Aboriginal people and lie blatantly about it and collude with other colonial structures like the media and the health system to make up a lie and and continue the illusion that Aboriginal people's lives don't matter. Now we're more powerful than we've ever been. We have the tools of social media and we can control our own voices and our own narrative, and we're taking back the narrative. The police and the media do no longer control our narratives, we control our narratives.